A 4th century papyrus of John's Gospel, written in Coptic and containing almost the whole Gospel of John. It contained 43 pages of papyrus written on both sides. Welcome to God's awesome creation. Some random interesting facts about God's amazing creation. There is a manuscript written in Nestorian Syriac characters and dating from the early 13th century. It contains the Peshitta, or Simple Language, New Testament. Uniquely, it contains a record of its owners as well of its writer, who is introduced as the feeble man, the sinner, Marcos of Yaryia. King Hezekiah piped in water. The king needed to secure his water supply from invaders. Water was a precious commodity, and the king had water from a spring at Gihon to the pool of Siloam piped in. This was no easy task, as the tunnel for water was 1,700 feet long. In 1880, a boy who was bathing in the pool of Siloam found an inscription which in part reads as follows, and this is the story of a piercing through. While the stonecutters were swinging their axes each towards his fellow, and while there were yet 3 cubits to be pierced through, there was heard the voice of a man calling to his fellow, for there was a crevice on the right, and on the day of the piercing through, each to meet his fellow, axe against axe. Then ran the water from the spring to the pool for 1,200 cubits, and 100 cubits was the height of the rock above the head of the stonecutters. There are a lot of people who collect maps. Let me tell you about a very old and very rare map that was found. Job and the other wisdom literature challenged the inadequate, narrow view of the world in the 7th century BC. The Babylonian plan of the world, as shown, shows the world surrounded by oceans, with Babylon on the Euphrates Mountains to the north and swamps to the south. The Holy Lands abound in many amazing archaeological treasures. One of my favorites are the ruins of an ancient library at Qumran. This is where the famous Dead Sea Scrolls were found. The library was hidden in caves because of the threat of Roman invasion. These precious documents were so well concealed that it was not until 1947 that they were discovered. Finding an ancient library would be a dream come true to me. The scrolls upon which were written the Torah were sometimes greatly ornate, and every synagogue of Israel had one. The one seen here is particularly ornate and was produced with great care. This one, the Pentateuch of the Samaritans, has been preserved by their descendants today.